I get a lot of questions about the retirement planning software that I use. I've been using it for pushing 4 years now. I've been retired for six. My name is Joe. I haven't covered that. Retired when I was 54. BOLDIN, which used to be New Retirement, is the software package that includes my entire retirement plan. So BOLDIN actually, because I make videos for them, they gave me a free account. Okay, so I got an account to play around with and go through scenarios, do some training on it. So that's what I thought I would do today. I've got 5 things that when I compare retirement planning software, these are the 5 things that are dramatically better with BOLDIN and why it's just a game changer for so many folks. Read the comments of my videos and listen to people talk about retiring 1, 2, 3, 4 years earlier because they use BOLDIN. They uh, upgraded from their spreadsheets to this comprehensive software package. And then, oh my gosh, I can retire now. I can retire in a year. And I thought it was going to be 5. Happens all the time. So let's jump right in. And there are 100 features to BOLDIN. I'm going to talk about the 5 that I have found to be just so much different than others. Okay, let's get into that. I'm going to share my screen. Should be able to see me now. Okay, this is the overview screen for BOLDIN. This person is showing in Monte Carlo a 94% probability of success. I'm not going to focus on this. A lot of other places do this, but this is a nice summary screen. Um, you enter like your accounts. So I got to give a quick overview, but like, hey, here's an IRA with $1 million in it. And then you can put the returns that you're getting in there, optimistic, pessimistic, and then you could toggle between different rates of return, average, optimistic, and pessimistic to see how the graphs change. So it's a pretty cool feature, but not one of the things I wanted to dive into. But so your different accounts, your brokerage account, a savings account. This person happens to have $1,250,000, but I actually bumped this up to $1 million to kind of highlight something in the taxes. So it just makes it more dramatic using a little bit bigger number. So you put your home in here, $600,000 home this person has. Like I said, this is the software I use. This is just a dummy account. This person has no debts, income. This says they're taking Social Security. You input that. And Social Security is great in this. You can adjust it based on, you at full retirement age, they're 2,500. This person's claiming at 70. You can change that, to any age you want here and see the impact on your Monte Carlo, right? Super, super easy. But I wanted to highlight expenses here. Expenses, this is huge. This is probably the number one reason that jumps people from not being able to retire to retire. And it's very simple. Okay. So let's go in here. This person, just had, you could do a basic budgeter here or a detailed budgeter. Basic budgeter, sorry. It says, hey, living expenses. What are my living expenses? $4,000 a month. And that's January 2024 or the beginning of this year through lifetime. So that's $4,000, just basic expenses. And then I added go-go spending. Okay. This is something that's missing from a lot of folks. They just put a one-line expenses. A lot of software packages just say, what are your expenses? Give me one line. What are they? And they'll put in a higher number. I'll talk about that in a second. But I separate out go-go spending until the age of 75, an additional $1,500 a month. Ignore crazy spending for right now. That's something I use to make a plan fail. But I also have slow go spending here of 750 from the age of 75 to 80. Okay, just how people normally spend money. And then I put in $400 a month unplanned expense. Something happens to the car, something happens to the house, $400 a month is what I do. So you can actually put on these go-go spending. Notice the time range here. Okay, the time range of when that's affected. Most packages don't have that. They just put in. So let me show you the impact of that. So just as a reminder, and I didn't change anything. We're going to look at the overview. We're at 94% probability of success. So let's just go into expenses, and I'm going to change this expense item just to, I'm going to include all the go-go and the one-time expenses, and or not the one-time, the maintenance expenses, unplanned expenses, and I'm going to put in 5,900. 5,900. And I'm going to hit save there. And then I'm going to go to go-go spending and make that zero. Now that's crazy spending. I'm having trouble here. Go-go spending, we're going to make that zero. Unplanned expenses, we're going to make that zero. And slow-go spending, we're going to make that zero, which is a pretty small change. All I did was take my base spending, added in my go-go spending, and then added in my unplanned maintenance spending, okay? Unplanned, event at the house. And I just made that into one number like most software packages do. Let's click to the overview. Remember, the Monte Carlo was 94%. Dropped it down to 86. Dropped it down to 86. Just that subtle move. Okay, there's really no change in spending in the first 10, 15 years of this individual. Okay, it's really on the back end. And because one of the things you have to notice, inflation hits, the inflation amounts you put in there hit everything. Okay, so that's a big one under expenses. So I'm going to go back in and switch that back, and I'm going to show you how easy that is. So I'm going to go back to my living expenses. I'm going to put in 4,000 here. Save that. I'm going to go into my go-go spending. I'm going to put 1,500 in here. And then I'm going to go into my unplanned expense and put 400 in here. And then I'm back to normal. Double check that. I did something wrong, 23% probability of success. What did I put my expenses in at? 9,500 a month. I did something wrong here. You always got to check and see unplanned. I put in 4,000 a month and planned. So that's not quite right. An extra zero makes a big deal, right, folks? That's why you always check your work. Jumped up to 96. I did something wrong again. Expenses, 4,000, 1,500, unplanned. Slow-go spending, didn't put in my slow-go. 750 a month. Once I turn 75 until I'm 80. Overview, 94. We're right back. So expenses is a big deal. Another thing under expenses, quite a few people miss is one-time expenses. So you can enter one-time expenses. Here's a kitchen remodel right here, $50,000, new car, replace the furnace, new car number 2, somewhere in the future. What's that? That's a 14 years into the future. So big deal, getting your expenses right, of how you're really going to spend money. Yeah. So another thing that is a big deal is rate assumptions. And if you don't think this is a big deal, you're not paying attention, okay? But most software packages, they won't even ask you inflation. They'll just use historical inflation rates or use 3% as a default. New retirement / BOLDIN allows you to use general inflation. This is how much my expenses are going up. Pessimistically or optimistically 2% to 5%. I can put in anything I want there. It actually lets you differentiate medical inflation. See, I have that 3 to 6. Social Security COLA, cost of living allowance, I could put in 2 or 4, optimistic, it's low, there's low inflation going on. And then I can put in another rate for my housing. So it lets you differentiate all those. Big deal. That's a big deal. The huge one for me, this is my personal working with BOLDIN here, is taxes. Most packages don't even mention taxes. It just shows up as an expense. Doesn't allow you vision to it. So again, as well, I didn't say this yet, but notice every time I look at something, I'm looking at graphs. Okay, everything's a graph here. This is net taxable income by federal tax bracket. So this person here, that's actually a couple, you can see that they're in the 10, 12, or 22% tax bracket. 22 out here at when RMD times. You see this ramp up. That's said, oh, big RMDs, and you got low taxes here. But this isn't a good thing. They're not even filling up the 10% bracket, not filling up the 12% bracket, and they're paying 22% down here. So this presents an opportunity. These numbers aren't, flat because remember, Social Security starting, and then you also got one-time expenses causing some bigger draws. So your vision on taxes is just huge. Bet on taxes, estimated taxes. Here's your income by source if you want to see where it's coming from. Federal tax deductions, pretty easy. So, but on taxes, remember what this looks like. Kind of jumps around here, and then we jumped into this 22% bracket. One of the things I will note, you can revert back in 26, you can go back to the 2017 tax brackets. Remember the Tax Cut and Jobs Act expires at the end of 2025. You could put those tax brackets in there. I took them out because it just puts double the number of colors in there, and it's simpler looking at it this way. Okay, so let's go on to what they call explorers on this tab here on the far left, okay? And we're going to look at something called Roth Conversion Explorer. And we're just going to look at, okay, do you want to try to maximize your estate value when they do Roth conversions? This is taking money out of pre-tax 401ks, IRAs, and putting it into a Roth. Do you want to maximize your estate value when you die? And it's a big deal when you consider that, because you could have a higher estate value, but you owe a bunch of taxes on it, like it's all IRA money, and you give that inheritance on. Do you want to go by tax brackets? Do you want to maximize the 10%, the 12%, the 22%, the 32%? What do you want to just do tax bracket? I like using this one. I like using tax bracket. Lowest lifetime tax liability. Again, hey, it sounds like I would like to pick that. I want to pick the lowest lifetime tax liability. Well, that's my lowest lifetime tax liability. That may leave I may pay, 500,000 in taxes, but then when I die and give it to my heirs, they pay 800,000 in taxes. Uncle Sam gets his money. So be cautious with that one, okay? Cautious. And then I've never seen this on anybody else's package, looking at IRMA. The premiums you pay on your Medicare supplements are income based. How do I know what Roth conversions and my income is doing to that? Well, you're going to see. You're going to see. So super cool. But I'm going to just do this person based on seeing that tax graph previously. I'm going to maximize the 12% tax bracket and say it's okay. Is it okay to pull out extra money to be able to pay the taxes if I don't have the money to pay my taxes in my savings account? So then I just see my optimized plan. It tells me to do 13 Roth conversions, and it tells me the year to make those Roth conversion and the dollar amount. Where you get this, tell me where you get this from somebody else. How much to make. And so you can come down here and, I just told you this, how much to make and what year. Then you can come down and see your account balances. This is critical. Okay, this is critical. Do I want to show that? This shows your account balances. So right now I've selected optimized plan. When I die, I got 2.49 million, but note that it's all in Roth accounts. Let's say 2.5 million, 100% taxes paid, and kids inherit $2.5 million. But my current plan, I have no Roth conversions in it, okay? And I have 2.8 million. 2.8 versus 2.5. You may think 2.8, I'd rather have 2.8 than 2.5. The 2.5's already had the taxes paid on it. 2.5 is worth more, right? All right. So yeah, so pay attention to the account balances on the selections you make for deciding, what to base your Roth conversion on. Do you want to base it on maximum estate value, maximum uh, tax bracket, which I like to use? Then let's just step on down here to, well, here's another chart. Effective tax rate shows the dark color here is what my current plan is. Say I pay a lot more taxes out here. And then with the Roth conversions, you pay this green line. So basically, without the optimization, I'm paying I'm paying 9.94%, and I'm paying into federal taxes versus 11.65, less a percent. You come down here, and here's your IRMA fees. This person actually only has if I don't do anything, I got a couple big. Well, actually, this is with the optimized plan. I pay a little bit more, $1,300 in IRMA. So it just gives you a vision to that. And that may be really important to you. It's important on mine, IRMA. So I keep an eye on that. And here's RMDs coming in. It's just clear vision of everything. And if you'd rather look at it at a table, you select table, and here's a comparison of the optimized plan and the current plan. So if I decide I like this Roth conversion plan, I can apply to my scenario. So I could just save that, apply changes. And then when I go back in and look at taxes, look at the change in taxes here. Remember that chart was all jumping all over the place? I'm paying a lot, 10 and 12% tax brackets. I'm filling that up. And I've only have a small number of orange brackets here. So it's a way of visually seeing your taxes, seeing the impact of Roth conversions on your taxes, on your net worth, where your money is located when you at your mortality. Big deal, big deal. And the impact on IRMA. I mean, tell me this is not worth $120 a year. I mean, this person is making massive moves of money, and $120 a year for having clear visibility is priceless to me. So there you go. Those are my 5 things that I found are dramatically better with BOLDIN software. Tracking expenses, detailing expenses. There's a detailed thing that, I'll show that real quick. Gosh, I forgot to show it. Expenses, reoccurring expenses. I just entered these numbers. That's what I use. You can go to a detailed budgeter, and you can, it'll help you, walk you through hobbies, travel, personal care, dining out, auto repair, utilities. It just walks you through everything. I don't like to do that. Okay. But expenses, one-time expenses. I don't think I showed one-time expenses either. So you go into expenses, recurring expense, one-time expenses. Yeah, I showed this. One-time expenses. A lot of software has that, but this one's, it's great. Expenses, great. BOLDIN is great. Inflation rates, you can have multiple ones. That's great. That's unusual. Taxes, unbelievable. No comparison. Haven't seen anybody close to what BOLDIN does. And let you see visually and see problems visually, see opportunity visually. Nobody's even close. That goes into the Roth Explorer, looks at different options to how to minimize taxes. That's number 4. And number 5 is vision to what your IRMA payments will be. And you can work on Roth conversions to minimize that if that's your target. Huge 5 major changes using BOLDIN. All right, show out.